You can always check the shallows here for minnows, mud bugs, crayfish, all kinds of things to eat. We don't see any right now, but we talk about stagnant water. This is definitely something you'd want to stay away from. You don't want to drink out of this. You might find something to eat out of it with regards to maybe shellfish or some frogs, but you definitely don't want to drink out of this if you had to. If you have to, you come over here and you dig a hole very close to the water, but not right in it. Right on the banks, you dig a hole and let the water perk up through it, and the ground itself acts as a type of filter, and then you could drink that water if you had to. You can kind of see what I mean here in this hole this animal track is made, where the water's perked up in there, and it's slightly less toxic as the rest of it. In the summer, places like this can be a breeding ground for all types of bugs and mosquitoes that carry lots of diseases. So the swamp, unless you're going to cover yourself with mud, the swamp is not a place you want to be when it gets warm out. You know, it's safe to say something died here. It's a lot of fur, a lot of deer fur. They may have been bedding down here, but this looks like, judging by that bone, it had teeth marks all over it. But I say they might be bedding down here because there's some nice clumps of male deer feces. Females will lay little tiny ball rounds of it. This is either male buck deer or it's from the coyotes scavenging. It's more than even possible, when you see the wash like this, that this died somewhere else, even in the floodwaters had deposited it here. Here's another thing. Something has made a nesting area here on the banks of the water. And you can see, this might be something a duck made, I'm not sure. But they've made a little den down in there. So I'll leave them alone. Here's another hole made by a groundhog or a muskrat. This little guy here is called a mayapple, and these are poisonous except for the inside fruit of the I don't know how to call it, the inside meat or flesh, I guess you'd call it, of the bulb that these give off. And here's another one over here. This one's starting to come up. They call them May apples because, well, they come up in May. Only it's a little early this year. These will make little umbrellas, I always call them. These will fan out, and the fruit will grow under here. And it's all poisonous, and the seeds are toxic too, but you can eat the flesh of the fruit. Don't eat the seeds. Don't eat any of the other plant. I do like coming out here in the springtime. You see, you can literally watch things grow. If you understand the forest science, the forest floor in the spring is clear still from the winter, and the canopy still quite hasn't formed. The trees don't have their leaves yet. So before the canopy forms and blocks out all the sunlight, you have all these little guys on the ground here competing for sunlight before the canopy fills in and chokes them all out. And down here I found some wild onions. I do like onions. These are some wild ones. I'm going to pick these, probably replant them on my property. It's springtime. It's a very good time to find these wild onions. You can even find some acorns the critters have buried for the winter. I do like onions. I think typically get in the habit of picking these onions in the spring and transplanting them all into an area where you can watch them and attend to them, because they get a little harder to find, if you can find them at all, during the summer when the brush gets too thick. These are pretty good onions, actually. These here are pretty neat. These are these swamp plants I like. And I'll show them to you later in the summer when they're bloomed fully, but right now they come up like this and they form giant stalks, and they kind of take over the lowlands here in the wet and the marsh area. It's very pretty. These are what their seeds look like. Yeah, I'm going to throw it over there and see if I can get this frog to move. Nope. There was a frog over there, but now he's gone. Here's a piece of cane. I was saying, talking about these plants when they get big, they make this kind of cane. I mean, it's neat for different things you can use it for, but you also want to make sure you don't run into hogweed. Go learn about hogweed, and it also makes tubes like that, but you do not want to mess with hogweed. Nasty, nasty plant.